Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome to another episode of Next Step Espresso, your daily shot of fitness. I am your host, as always, Johnny Landels from Next Step Nutrition, bringing you the podcast that helps you overcome the nutrition industry confusion and get results for good. Today, we're on episode 437. If you follow us on Instagram, you'll have noticed recently that we produced a free download known as the Hunger Game Worksheet. And if you'd like, the link is in the show description of this episode, or you can go to Instagram at Next Step Nutrition Ltd and download a copy using the link there. Now, this is a sheet that we directly use with our clients, and it is one which is absolutely fantastic for understanding and rebuilding your internal hunger and appetite cues. Now, there are some fight back between the idea of, intuitive / mindful eating and dieting, and how, if we were being intuitive, then all I would do is continue to eat all the time. And the thing is that this actually isn't correct, because a lot of the time our overeating episodes that we can struggle with do not come from a feeling of true hunger. It's true that some people do have larger appetites than others, and if that is the case, then playing around with more high volume food like veggies and lean proteins is definitely a good idea to help curb that appetite. But actually, when we really dig deep and think about what true hunger is and what our true hunger cues are, we start to realize a lot of the time when we thought we had been hungry, we might have actually been thirsty or tired or stressed or bored or emotional or all of the above. Now, food is one of those things where we definitely do use in celebration. Think about weddings and birthdays or Christmas. And we definitely do use it with emotion. Think about how you've been treated as a kid growing up. If you're happy or you did something good, maybe you got food. If you were sad, maybe you got food. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's important to note those triggers and those relationships with food, because then that dictates how you can respond and how you want to respond in the future. Now, going back to the Hunger Game sheet, essentially what you need to do is notice how you feel before, during, and after eating. So you can note this down on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being stuffed and 10 being ravenous, how hungry you are before, during, and after a meal. So it does mean you need to be very mindful during said meal, and you do need to be very aware before you eat anything that you think about your hunger and write it down. Now, as I said, you need to be aware of what the body's cues for hunger actually are. So things like your stomach rumbling, things like saliva being produced, maybe you're feeling irritable, maybe you've got a bit of a headache. You need to observe these cues and differentiate them from similar ones, as I said, like stress, thirst, etc. And then as you eat, be super mindful about what you notice. Are you enjoying the food? Are you eating it slowly? Are you really tasting it? Are you really observing the texture? And what the goal would be to start each meal around a 7 to 8 out of 10 of hungry and finish around a 2 to 3, especially if you're looking to drop body fat at the minute. That idea of eating to 80% full is what we mean here. I've given you a bit of a walkthrough of what the Hunger Game is, so feel free to replay this episode and get those steps. Or, as I said, you can download the sheet for free using the description in the show notes of this episode, or visiting at Next Step Nutrition Ltd and downloading a copy from our link there. Hope you've enjoyed this episode of Next Step Espresso. Tomorrow I'm talking to Dan Osman about his journey through the fitness industry, starting out as an overweight teenager, right now into being an online personal trainer and health coach as he is now. We talk a lot about male body image. We talk a lot about body image in the fitness industry in general, and a lot about how to improve those things and the journey between health and performance. So hope you can check in for that. If not, have a great day today, and I'm sure I'll see you soon on Next Step Espresso.